Okay, pile number 3. Let's begin with your reading. Last but definitely not least, always my favorite, number 3. If you chose the Shunhite with the giant Andara on your side, this is going to be your reading. I just had lunch, I'm sorry. I'm completely unprepared. How are you? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I love tuning into your energies. But yeah, this is a pick a card reading named Who's That Pokemon? And yeah, who are you? Pile number 3. You're a Drampa! And a shiny one as well. So you could be tuning into the frequencies of silver and platinum, which brings this higher frequency of protection and higher knowledge, higher wisdom, clarity, great connection to the ethers, and with the Shunhite having also silver specks inside. Yeah, it's showing me this protective bubble around you that is quite platinum in coloring, but not just because you're the Drampa. However, let's talk about the Drampa first. You have 120 HP. Your first attack is Gentle Slap. So you could be, you know, I have this way of saying sometimes when I get like angry or frustrated that my hand is kind of, sprung to hit. So you could be, energetically wanting to slap some people. But yeah, that takes 20 of your HP. And then you have Raging Cannon, which takes 100 plus, right? If all of your benched Pokemon have at least 1 damage counter on them, this attack does 120 more damage. So you have this capability of enhancing yourself, pile number 3, with protection, that you could be an air sign or have air prominent placements in your chart, but the way you protect yourself Candle went out. Yeah, it's like you have this divine rage, pile number 3, where you could be handing out just like a slap, and that could be meaning a verbal slap, like you put people in their places. You're kind of like this Queen of Swords energy where, you're blunt and honest and you don't give a fuck. And you could be, on one hand gently slapping people, and on the other become this raging cannon that has potential to do more than twice as much damage than it looks. So especially if you are a female, or it doesn't matter like which gender you are, but if you don't look intimidating, your presence is, your protection is intimidating, your aura is intimidating. Like, you don't have to look vicious, mean, or buff to look like you're able to take down a whole, I don't know, family of settlers, right? You're like, you're not gonna take our land. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so it says the mountains it calls home are nearly 2 miles in height. On rare occasions, it descends to play with the children living in the towns below. So this is your general aura, right? You have gone through mountains, which means tough challenges in life that took a lot of your energy, a lot of your power, a lot of your life force. And these mountains were 2 miles high, which is, yeah, it's for most people it's unsurvivable conditions. For you, being this Drampa, with this raging cannon and slaps. You are able to shift from being a very playful person to being a very strict, uh, cutthroat type of person. But you are here to heal children, you're here to help children and to guide children mostly. Because you have this higher consciousness about you that is here to teach, to guide, and to kind of, you know, maneuver others through their mountains, because you have very great capacity to traverse certain terrains that others don't, that it's really beneficial for others around you, especially younger generations, to tune into your life path, to see, you know, how to thrive even through like the harshest situations. And it could involve your mother or something to do, because I'm getting like a really itchy ear, throat. Could be something I just ate and I'm slightly allergic to, but it's this female side itch that is, could be this feminine rage inside of you. Even if you're a masculine, a divine masculine, you're like, you have the rage of all of your ancestors and you're very protective of children. We get the lizard, so you're very creative and very flamboyant in certain ways of expressing yourself. It could be through style, it could be through the way you speak. It can be very eloquent or very reserved. You keep certain secrets to yourself. Like you have this platinum shield around you, and you're only here if it's to help somebody. Like you don't care about adults doing wrong things. You don't really deal with misguided adult energy. You're very in tune with guiding the inner and outer children of your surroundings, wherever you are. And you do that through creativity. Whatever you do, it's something creative where you shine through. So it's like this transmutation of having a hard past, you know, your whole life or your childhood or the past 10 years or just these heavy mountains that you went through. We're really here to bring out the creativity, and they worked these milestones and these mountains and these heights gave you a different perspective on life. So you look at valleys below where you come from, energetically, spiritually speaking, and you have a different vision and you know the path it takes to get to the other side, especially transmuting your pain into power through creativity, through, you know, releasing certain parts of yourself through creative arts or whatever it is that you do. Because the lizard is all about creativity and those passions when it comes to creating something. So whatever you are creating, pile number 3, it's to protect children or to keep you protected from something. The throat today is activating, guys, in each and every pile. So it's a common theme, I guess. It's a collective connotation on different ways we communicate with ourselves, with our bodies, with others, and with our future timelines, and bringing them into what's important, right? So you are the type of person that puts a lot of importance on certain things. So you could look like a very aloof person, but you're really passionate about your creativity or your children or your project or your work, whatever it is that comes with you, like wherever you go, that's being like highly protected in this enhancement bubble. So I saw your protection as a platinum silver sphere, and now it comes from the outside come all these colors. So I'm seeing that the people around you, especially children, give you these colors back. So they help you express your inner child more through working with them, or you know, it heals certain parts, certain chakras when it comes to either fear of having your own children, or, you know, it's creating it's like wherever you go, you create little family units. So wherever you come, after a while, you're always accepted because you're so neutral with this platinum shield. You don't have a specific color, but they always vibrate to you. So I understand that with the Drampa energy, you're like there to play with the children or the inner child. You're on this planet to be playful, to be the sandpiper bottom line energy. So it says literally be playful. So this is the time when you become super happy, super expressive, and you're willing to let all of your colors from the outside that are innocent and, you know, magical colors, like chakra speaking, chakra wise, you know. So for instance, you get these pinks and these purples and these greens, and it's like, I don't know, a child noticed in the supermarket your cool shoes and they pointed it out because they are so open to being honest, and, you know, their colors are still active. So you being this Trampa, being this, you know, wherever you go, you kind of attract, showing people how to heal, or you heal your environments wherever you show up in, and children notice, animals notice you very soon. Like, they usually vibrate towards you first. It's like this innocence behind you comes from the need, this internal need to play and guide and heal children. Then we have third house with messages, and Jupiter with abundance. Interesting, 12-12 on the timer just now. Gemini with I think. So yeah, that's the air energy I was channeling, and the third house is also Gemini. So your Jupiter could be in Gemini or transiting your third house, or those could be significant for some of you, but I'm being guided to open up more and then dive deep. Yeah, we have voyage and leadership. Sorry, I didn't show you. So we have this baby and mama and this polar bear, and that's your energy, right? You are on this voyage of leadership, of, you are like the Sherpa in the Himalayas. You're the one that guides other hikers, alpiners to the top of Mount Everest, because your past timeline and past lives were so heavy that you have incarnated to show how to transmute these energies. And you are a guide in your own, on your own terms, right? In your own professions, in your own creative hobbies and whatnot. It's like there's something that comes from your soul that you give, that attracts the healing of children and the guiding and the teaching of children. So you are meant to be this leader of what I want to say, you're meant to be this leader of those that are on the path to become the Sherpa as well, or those that just want to have a safe passage. So if you're in music, for instance, you could be working at a musical store or repairing guitars, and then somebody comes in and you can see that they have the same spark inside of you, and it triggers your inner child to help them and to infuse them with the passion and the creativity that comes from discovering an instrument. And, you know, you instill them with confidence and this sense of greatness if you practice and if you show up for yourself, right? So it could be anything that you do that brings that same storyline forth, where you are there to guide children, even if that's an inner child of a 65-year-old man and you're a 20-year-old, right? It doesn't matter. It's about guiding people home through these mountains, because they were also put on a path of doubting themselves at first, then, you know, being guided by their own power, doubled and tripled, and overcoming these mountains by turning to creativity, right? You re-inspire everybody because you have your battle scars to prove it. And then we have gratitude coming out. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. And there's a lot of green being infused around you. Like the green, the heart just keeps popping out. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Sorry guys, it's just, I'm trying my best. Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. And these are all attributes that are floating around you. Because being grateful of choosing your contracts, choosing your parents, fulfilling your missions, elevating above ancestral curses, doing whatever you had to do. Gratitude is a much higher frequency than blame, which is pretty much the transmutation process you do for other people when you guide them. It's to take responsibility for, you know, ourselves and our emotions and our outputs, especially when it comes to creativity and expression, voicing ourselves, you know, guiding people that it's okay to express certain things through certain mediums, because that liberates the soul and heals those traumas in places where we got hurt, and that's okay. And we can do that through music, through painting, through meditation, through sport, through, you know, thinking of ourselves in a way that our bodies can co-function with, and our inner manifestors and creatives can really play with, right? I'm seeing the Magician card where he has all these different elements in front of him, and you, my dear grandpa, pile number 3, are the one that is like, you know, standing at a Comic-Con or an event or a festival, sharing your passions, right? It's like you went through something in your life, and then you transmuted that energy into creating something, and those items can now be sold, even if it's a course, if it's you know, physical items, if it's, I don't know, music, you're producing something here, and you're teaching everyone that visits you or gets a chance to meet you. Like, take these as they resonate. You don't have to be necessarily selling any products, but the output that you have towards your environment is that of clearing people walking around with blame, taking care of their own well-being through these mediums of expression. So you're a really great guide when it comes to things that are hard for, well, most people, right? Especially if you're dealing with certain mental health issues, or you probably had to transmute a lot of dark forces and dark, heavy emotions. Had to come above yourself into a completely different perspective. And that perspective was recreating the color that you lost through your own traumas. So you had to discover certain things and parts within yourself that you've either forgotten or lost along your path, or just didn't put into a priority list. You are now coming into that balance where you're able to help others come to the other side in a much shorter time span. Boy, are they trying us today. Find balance with the Two of Pentacles. Challenging times with the Five of Wands. Sorry if my tone sounds condescending right now. I'm just speaking to the ethers, not you. Yeah, you have love at the end, which is the Lover's card with the number 6. But 256 could be a significant number that could have, or 25th of June. Yeah. 25th of June might be a significant date for you. I usually never get dates. Frog spirit, clear out the clutter. Dolphin spirit, this and that are true. Heal thyself. Came out in reverse, but it's an oracle, so it will not stay in the reverse. And chop wood, which also came out in reverse. And this is how I read this. You have probably taken your sweet ass time to focus on your healing. And bear with me, don't kill the messenger. What I mean by this is you have gone through so much that certain parts you forgot needed to be healed. And now that you've healed pretty much you transmuted everything as you went, and you're still in this giving to children, giving to the next generation. Could you fucking not? Right? So you might be like tuning into the same energy where you're like, oh, these next generations, or oh, this is not my environment. But what I wanted to say is that you could have been not avoiding, but putting off healing certain things for when you heal other things first, type of energy. So now is the time to truly cleanse out. Chop wood, right? Prepare the firewood, prepare the buckets with the water and soap, prepare the broomstick, open the doors and windows, let the air come in. And that goes for your physical reality as well as your mental reality. You have to sometimes open the window of your perception to get a new wind of thought, right? So you have to clear out your old thoughts, and that takes a lot more practice, because when we have thoughts that have been with us for years or decades or since our childhood, it's something that we essentially carry on forever as a memory of what we went through, but we are not tuning into the energy of those timelines, because we are, shifting the focus on healing, clearing out the clutter. With the frog and the chop wood, it's being adaptable with the frog in your cycle of being able to move from very, living in the water, which to me looks like depression in spirit. And then with your evolution, you came out as a frog that is able to be cleansed in the waters of the emotions, as well as survive on land. Like, you're not a fish out of water, not even remotely. But you're this dolphin spirit. You're this happy-go-lucky person in general, and that's also why you resonate with children or helping and guiding children, because you don't have to be a teacher, You could also, like, you could just be an animator or the fun aunt or uncle, right? It's just your the way you preserve your inner child and the way you preserved your inner child and nurtured it through your timelines, it's what gave you this platinum shield, right? And platinum is one of the higher consciousness metal grids, metal grid lattices, or let's say it's like a energetic sphere of metal particles that is just you having strong discernment and a very strong mind, and you knowing who you are and what you went through. However, showing more gratitude and less blame, less of the putting blame on others was actually one of your biggest lessons in your life, probably a karmic one at best. And this is your voyage. This is the way you create your abundance, right? This is the way you give and receive messages. Everything is so intuitive and in the water for you because you have the dolphin and the frog, and you know, everything was about finding balance between being armored up and shielded up and overprotective of your own energy, and on the other hand, sharing it with your loved ones, being in union, right? Being in mutual growth, like this couple here, right? So even though your energy is a bit more, well, it's quite heavy, it's not like neurotical Gemini. It's like that genius Gemini energy where the way you analyze your life, analyze your relationships, the way you process information in your own brain computer, you're literally well, there's a message of family coming in. You could be getting a whole new collective of people that are just along the lines of what you like doing, or even creating a family. But yeah, you have, now that you are focusing on your heart chakra and what else is there to heal, you might be thinking, or like what does she mean? Not for everybody, but you know, I still hear everybody speaking back to me in their heads. So be careful what you think. I might hear it. Yeah, you're having like a very strong discernment when it comes to your circles and who, it's like you have this profoundness with you. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. You have this profoundness of you because of your analytical skills, the way you computerize your life. It's like everything is in order and in divine order, and it's filed. Like you are your own walking judicial system. That's how much air energy is prominent with you right now. Or there could be Jupiter transiting your third house, or you could have a Jupiter in Gemini. Like those could be really significant. Those people that have those placements are the ones that have really worked on and are still working on, because I'm getting like a small headache. You're still tinkering and filing patience, right? So maybe earlier in your not so long ago current timelines, you could have been more impatient and more about blaming others. Whereas now in this timeline where you internalize healing and you clear out the clutter from your emotional vessel, especially your heart space, because there's a lot of green coming out visually as well. It's like I see these pictures like they're flowy, like I see the cards like they're shining green light on me. But in general, we have quite a few green connotations, especially in voyage: leadership, gratitude, patience, clearing out the clutter, healing yourself, as well as messages. And the Eye of Horus is very important because, again, it's that energy of the twins, right? The children. It's about nurturing everyone around you, right? But not without nurturing yourself first, because you do so much for the family, even if you live alone and you feel like your family just does not exist, like your blood family, or you don't want to hang out with them, or your friends are far away. If you are the most loneliest you've ever been right now, it's because you do everything for your soul family. Like, you constantly work from the space of how you want to be treated. And when people don't come across you and meet you halfway, it's a harsh cutoff sometimes, or a harsh realization for other people that they should have respected you. They should have put in a lot more work, right? Chop wood is something that I keep looking at. The number 42, which is a 6, and that's home, that's 6th house, that's Virgo, that's work at home, the prudence, the focus on your inner and outer gardens and your hearth, not heart, but hearth, you know, the heart of the home, where, you know, the planning of the metabolism and nourishment happens, right? So whether you take this literally or spiritually, it's about understanding who you are, and you're a full-hearted person. You are the dolphin, guys. Fuck off. So yeah, you could be, you know, handing out gentle slaps or just blasting out a raging cannon, dear Trampas. But as soon as you feel headaches, try to cleanse that energy. It's not here to stay. I'm getting a headache, I'm sorry, but these energies must be transmuted. Yeah, there's a lot of focus on the frontal lobe, right? Which is what differentiates us from being Neanderthals, right? So because you are an alien, because you are a dolphin, you are the creature, you are the Pokemon. So many interferences. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. You are like the only, let's say, Homo sapiens, and you're around a bunch of Neanderthals. Your different parts of brain are being developed, and if you feel tension in your head, you could be like me, being photosensitive, where I'm now filming the 3rd reading in a row pretty much, and this light is blasting me because the night is kind of nearing. So I'm getting the sense of cutting out gently certain sensitivities, right? If you're having a headache, it's probably not so much, if it's not occurring, right? Of course, consult your doctors. Don't listen to me when it comes to medical advice. But I went through a period of these headaches, strong headaches that I've never felt before. And I realized that I instantly knew that they were attacks, right? So as you feel tension, you might want to look up some face yoga or face massages, or just, you know, try to desensitize your face muscles, because it's really important for you, because I paired your Shunhite with a purple Andara, which is, it is a man-made silica, but is a divination tool. It's like a man-made crystal um, for higher spiritual ascension because of the purple color. So your crown, your purple color chakra, is being affected, which is affecting your hair falling out, you breaking out on your face if it's not, you know, the ovulation pimple, or, you know, if it's not from your shit diet, right? Or you could be feeling these tension headaches where it's a sign for you to close your eyes, to relax, to unclench your jaw, to, you know, come back into a state where you don't want to fuck shit up all the time. It's like, I'm getting this, I just want to punch somebody, but I'm better than that type of energy. And yeah, you're healing, right? That's your abilities to kick hard at life or physically people. It comes from you being Drampa, and a shiny one with a platinum shield and a bunch of force that's hidden inside. So, you know, don't forget who you are, even if you are still, even if you're still on the healing journey and you are mastering and rather controlling your heart space than opening up to receiving the love that's not sexual or romantic, right? So receiving love from children, from animals, from nature, from pressure changes, right? And going with them. Like, if there's a beautiful day, I'm at least gonna go for a walk when I feel like it during the day, right? It's about not limiting yourself to these harsh environments. Like, I'm gonna climb a whole nother mountain now, I'm gonna throw myself in a whole nother relationship. No, you're folding your tinder wood to keep yourself warm for the whole winter, and it's not even summer yet, right? It doesn't matter when you watch this, it's the analogy behind it, right? You're preparing 2 seasons ahead because you are protected, you are self-healing, you're clearing out the energetic clutter from past disappointments, past blames on I'm like this because I'm a mother, I'm like this because I'm a father. One day they'll all be gone and you will have nobody to blame but yourself. But that's kind of late to start. So why not today? 37 on the timer. Or why not before you're 37, right? Why wait till you're 42 to get that house that you want on the lake and, you know, the life that you want? Because your energy, Trampas, my pile number 3s with Shunhite and Purple Andara, you are shadow creatures and you came from very muddy waters when it comes to your childhood and the way you grew up or the surroundings that you grew up in. And none of these factors have ever been able to define who you are, because you know you're something else. You might be resonating with the siren or Atlantis energy, or just like dolphin creatures, or the seaside or bodies of water could be very healing to you. And I'm getting like you need to make an offering to release into water. There's something that you have to clear, and I'm getting pain in my kind of like sinuses, but my nose, but it's more like the memories that live really deep inside your DNA are the ones that are going to be best transmuted by offering, I don't know, a bouquet of hand-picked flowers or herbs or something like that into flowing water. And always pay attention to the signs, right? They're always guiding and confirming you that you are clearing out the correct clutter. And I'm being guided to this map. It kind of gives me the shape of a heart because of my lights falling down. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see. but it's like it creates a heart. The crows are fighting probably. Yeah. So your intuition will be the one to tell you, did the screen just go dark for both of us, or am I tripping? Yeah. Okay. Side message, side quest. Don't let yourself be trapped by darkness, because there's always people coming to face you with darkness, to test your light. And you notice everything. You notice every minor shift, and you can hear pretty much every thought of another person, because your cloak that surrounds you, the platinum sphere cloak, is cleansing you constantly, so you always know who you are and where you're at. But it's about time, pile number 3, you stop getting tested. And how to stop getting tested is by truly healing those parts within yourself. 4111 on the timer, maybe that's significant for somebody. The parts that need healing the most is pure childlike joy. And I'm hearing and seeing you would probably benefit by going into like somewhere to pet puppies or kittens. Like that could be something that just brings you so much joy without thinking about it afterwards. I'm getting like very itchy here around beneath my solar plexus, but I think I have a reaction to a spice or something I just ate. I'm not sure. But what it's giving me is, you might have an itch, especially if you're a female, to have children, and there's certain parameters that have to be set before you have them. Even if you're a masculine, like a male, right? There's wood to be chopped before you can immerse yourself in certain structures that mean family for you, that is ohana to you, right? And the more you heal yourself and those parts that could have been forgotten or overlooked in the process of healing these things over here, now you're paying attention to every single detail to get everything in order in your house, spiritual house, where you chop all the wood and prepare the heaters and check how isolated it is, or check the roof, right? You're securing energetic spaces, which I'm explaining in physical words, but it's like you're securing your root as well as your crown, like you're preserving your whole system. The more you return to that which brings you joy, and staying less in the mind, because me getting this energetic transmutation, because now it's gone, I cleared the energy, it's gone, but these tension headaches are here to remind you that you are overexerting your capacities. Not that you're not able to think for so long and so much and think of every outcome possible for a situation. It's your body reminding you to do something different and trying to relax this space. And as soon as you start touching yourself on your face and massaging it and draining the limbs, and you find little knots of tension in your jaw, and you really understand that you have thought a bit too long than needed, because your body still has certain capacities, and you are not here to be overworked and overlooked. You're here to do your job and keep the gratitude and move toward abundance through your creativity and through your leadership, and carry a bunch of children, you know, in different vessels towards the other side, where you together create the humanity that you want to see around you. And that's kind of how you work. Even though you work from a more shadowy aspect, or a more dark-ish aspect, or a more depressed timeline, or whatever it is, right? Because the energy has a lot more to release and cleanse out. That's why you also picked the Shunhite, because Shunhite is here to ground you, to cleanse you of a bunch of these interferences, especially when it comes to magnetic fields. And it realigns your lattice structure into one where you are protected in, right? So as soon as you chose this stone, or this stone chose you, you got the platinum shield if you haven't had it before. And being pointed to the green color again, it's really time for you to check all. I just saw like a heart, this heart space shaped like a heart, but it's separated in stripes that are different colored. So you always expressed everything through your heart, and your heart has these mixed colorings, every color. And I'm getting that you're very sentimental and very, you know, you take things to heart even if you have a sharp tongue type of energy. But it's not like, you know, being this mimosa, you know, just closing up when somebody touches you. It's more about having to work through to find balance in not raging in people's faces. With raging cannon, yeah, it was raging cannon. So, you know, you're like this. If you were a gun, you would be a bazooka, and nobody wants that to be fired in their face. Yeah. What else? Anything else? Well, the only thing I got for you was that you're going to be on your 100%. Like, your health bar is being restored, and your ability power is being restored. You are now able to give more in a way that is more in a way that is more aligned with who you are, not what you think other people might want from you, but actually who you are. Yeah, because this and that are true, right? You're the type of, you're the dolphin where you say like this and that are true. Like, we can agree to disagree, no problem, right? But in the past you might have had this, be careful about the righty, she might slap you, right? Or it could be just one of those chancla throwers where you have a good aim and just you're willing to fight somebody off with a broom if necessary, and throw that bucket and all of that wood that you chopped into somebody's face. But because you're healing your patients and blaming others, or you have healed from that and have gained more patience and have taken more responsibility for your own well-being, and understanding that the world is always projected back to you the way you project towards it. And I know, because my head started hurting again, that the ones that are high vibing and on this energy, you're like, let's agree to disagree, shall we? I have no problem with that at all, as I've been through some challenging times and I have struggled to find balance, especially in my close, like 7th house, like in my close relationships and partnerships. And I still remain grateful. I still remain happy and hardworking and healing and teaching and communicating and staying playful. And you're super talented. Like, you're so talented. You are everybody's competition. And yeah, it's thanks to your patience, it's thanks to your gratitude, and thanks to you not blaming everyone around you as to where you are today. You might have a little doggy or a kitty or want one, or you could be seeing birds everywhere. Those are your confirmations. Like, don't be afraid to ask if you can pet that dog or that kitten. You know, the least that can the most that can happen is the animal rejecting you. But fear not, my pile number 3. 50, 51 could be a very significant number for you. If you put that into your search engines, you will understand what I mean by that. But we don't have time to now. I have it screenshotted, but I'll try to remember to put it in the description box if you're like too lazy to Google stuff. But yeah, if you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you think it might resonate with somebody that you know that is from your soul family, don't forget to share it to them. Everything helps. Saving these videos in your personal transformational folders, or, you know, creating your own little tarot mantra folders to re-listen and you know, doing all that cool stuff definitely helps to pick up on your energies. So thank you, pile number 3, for tuning into this majestic reading. Stay creative, stay in cleansing, cleanse daily, cleanse mindfully, and be careful what you speak next to water. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.